Dear students, in continuation with the previous chapter, today we shall be talking about the seminiferous tubules. The seminiferous tubules are present in the testis, and they are the structural and functional unit of the testes or testis. They are concerned with the formation of sperms. It means spermatogenesis occurs in the seminiferous tubules. Before we discuss the seminiferous tubules, let us talk about the longitudinal section of the testis. What are the structures which are present in the testis along with the seminiferous tubules? You know, testes, they are two in number, one pair. Each testis, oval structure, oval, and the size of the testis is, each testis is 4 to 5 centimeter length and 2 to 3 centimeter width. And these are present in the two scrotal sacs. Now this is the structure which I have drawn. It is the LS of testis. Longitudinal section of the testis. Each testis is covered over by 3 layers. The outermost layer is tunica vaginalis. Tunica vaginalis is made up of 2 parts, that is, one is the parietal and second is the visceral. This outer is parietal, as we have seen in case of the lungs, and this inner one, this is known as visceral. Between the two, that is parietal tunica vaginalis and visceral tunica vaginalis, there is a little fluid present. This is the fluid. It is present in little quantity. If the amount of this fluid increases in the tunica vaginalis, then it causes hydrocele, that is swelling of the testis, that we will talk in the next lecture. Then the second layer is this one with white chalk. It is the tunica albuginea. This tunic albuginea, inner to the tunica albuginea, there is third layer with this blue chalk. This is known as tunica vasculosa, because it is rich in blood. It is rich in blood vessels. Now at places, at certain places, here, 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 this, the tunica albuginea invaginates. The invaginations of the tunica albuginea are called testicular septum. Testicular, this is testicular septum. Testicular septum or testicular septa. These testicular septa divide the lumen of the testis or cavity of the testis into about 250 compartments, and these are known as testicular lobules. One is called testicular lobule, and all collectively they are called lobules. They are about 250 in number. Now, each testicular lobule, this testicular lobule, contains 1 to 3 coiled structures. These are the coiled structures about which we are going to talk right now, seminiferous tubule. Coiled structures. This is seminiferous tubule. 1, 2, 3 in each testicular lobule. It is a coiled structure, but becomes straight. This is straight part. This is the straight part, and this is the straight part. This is the straight part. This one, and this straight part is known as tubuli recti. Tubuli recti or tubular rectus. Now these structures at the end, they enter a structure in a network of a structure that is called rete testis. This is rete testis. It is a network of tubules in which these straight part of the seminiferous tubules open. From the rete testis, there arise 12 to 15 small ductules, and they form the vasa efferentia. These are 12 to 15 in number. Again, each testis is an oval structure. It is covered over by 3 layers. The outer one is tunica vaginalis. It is made up of outer parietal and inner visceral. And the second layer is tunica albuginea. And the third is tunica vasculosa. This tunica albuginea enfolds or invaginates into the lumen of the testis by means of testicular and forms testicular septa. Testicular septa divides the whole of the lumen into testicular lobules. It means each testicular lobule is covered over by tunica vasculosa, high blood supply. And these testicular lobules, each testicular lobule has 1 to 3 coiled structures called seminiferous tubules. And seminiferous tubules are coiled structures, they are straight at the end. These straight parts form a network of tubules called rete testis. From the rete testis arise 12 to 15 ductules, and they collectively form the vasa efferentia. Now this vasa efferentia will enter the epididymis, that we will talk it later on. I hope you have understood. Now we write some points. We have talked about the layers, then we talked about this testicular septa, then we talked about the testicular lobules, then we came to the seminiferous tubules, which are the structural and functional unit of the testis, and they are responsible for spermatogenesis. Now this is the seminiferous tubules. Then seminiferous tubules, they form, these seminiferous tubules are coiled structures, and at the end they become straight, and their straight part is known as tubuli recti. These tubuli recti open into and form a structure that is known as rete testis. Rete testis. Rete testis, then again ductules start 12 to 15. That is called the vasa efferentia. These vasa efferentia, now till this stage, this is known as, this is in the testis only. Now everything will be outside the testis, but in the scrotum. That is, this is known as intratesticular duct system. Intratesticular duct system, because it is inside the testis. Now this vasa efferentia, they will join with the head of the, it means we call it kept epididymis, kept. Yeah, let us see, we'll take it later on, that is, it will enter the epididymis. Epididymis will be followed by vasa deferentia or vas deferens. Then vas deferens through the spermatic cord, which I mentioned you yesterday. Spermatic cord, it will enter the abdomen. It will enter the abdomen, and this vas deferens will loop over the urinary bladder. Then it will leave the urethra as the ejaculatory duct. That urethra will come in contact with the penis, and then urethral meatus, that is a urethral orifice or urethral opening, will be at the outer surface. Again, seminiferous tubules are coiled structures. Their straight part, it is not important for you at all. Then they form the rete testis, form the vasa efferentia. Then vasa efferentia enter the epididymis. Epididymis enters the vas deferens. Vas deferens enter the abdomen. through the spermatic cord, or sometimes if he does not write the spermatic cord, if he writes the inguinal canal, it's okay. If spermatic cord is not the choice over there, then we will mark the inguinal canal. Now we come to the seminiferous tubules. Now students, we come to the seminiferous tubules. I told you that seminiferous tubules are the structural and functional unit of the testes. They are responsible for spermatogenesis. And second, I told you that these seminiferous tubules are present in the testicular lobules. And they are 1 to 3 in number, 1 to 3. They are coiled structures. Let us draw the section of seminiferous tubules. This is the one seminiferous tubule. This is another one, and this is another one, and this is another one. This is the connective tissue between two different seminiferous tubules. This is the connective tissue. Connective tissue. It contains blood vessels. Each seminiferous tubule is covered over by a layer of cuboidal cells. Cuboidal cells. And each cell contains a nucleus. This is germinal epithelium. Germinal epithelium. And these cells are known as germ cells. Germinal epithelium, and this is made up of germ cells. These germ cells undergo mitosis. Before that, maximum of the cells of this germinal epithelium are cuboidal in shape, and they are called germ cells. But there are also present pyramidal shaped cells. Pyramidal shaped cells, elongated cells. These are the elongated cells. And these cells are known as Sertoli cells. In between the two seminiferous tubules in the connective tissue, there are present interstitial cells, groups of special type of cells called Leydig cells. Leydig cells. They are also called interstitial cells. Interstitial cells. Sertoli cell. Now these germ cells will undergo mitosis to form spermatogonia. These are diploid because these are also diploid. And we will take it later on. Spermatogonia will form primary spermatocytes, then they will form secondary spermatocytes, spermatids will be formed, and then sperms will be formed. That is the whole process of spermatogenesis. In the section of the seminiferous tubule, there are 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules in one testicular lobule. Each seminiferous tubule is covered over by germinal epithelium. The cells of the germinal epithelium are cuboidal, but at the cuboidal cells are called germ cells, and at certain places there are pyramidal shaped or long cells are also present, and they are called Sertoli cells. In between the two seminiferous tubules there is connective tissue. There is group of cells, this group of cells, this one and this one. They are called the Leydig cells after the name of the scientist, and they are also called interstitial cells. And these Leydig cells and the Sertoli cells, they collectively are responsible for spermatogenesis. Now we write some important points. This is the transverse section of seminiferous tubule, Now let us discuss the important points. These are the seminiferous tubule. The wall of the seminiferous tubule is made up of the wall or the layer covering the seminiferous tubule is called germinal epithelium. This is squamous epithelium. This germinal epithelium has two types of cells. One are called the germ cells, or let us say male germ cells, and second are called the Sertoli cells. These germ cells are cuboidal. Sertoli cells are piriform shape, or long cells, that is long. These germ cells by mitosis form spermatogonia. Spermatogonia is singular. These spermatogonia are diploid. And this is also, all structures are diploid. Now these spermatogonia will form ultimately the sperms, which are haploid. That we will take it later on. In between the two seminiferous tubules, there are also present these. Let us first tell what are Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells are also called nurse cells. These nerve cells have got three functions. Number one, nutrition to developing sperms. Number two, they produce ABP, androgen binding protein. There is another protein which is produced by the Sertoli cells that is known as inhibin. Now just write down the function of androgen binding protein. This androgen binding protein binds with the seminiferous tubules and increases the concentration of testosterone. It means it concentrates testosterone. Concentrates testosterone. Very important. It means it is concerned with the process of spermatogenesis. And second, I told you about the inhibin. It is also a protein. Inhibin means it inhibits. What does it inhibit? It suppresses the activity of follicle stimulating hormone. It means it thus regulates spermatogenesis. This is testosterone. It concentrates testosterone because testosterone is needed in large quantity for spermatogenesis. It means this is responsible for spermatogenesis. Now we come to the aspect, what is testosterone? This testosterone is secreted or produced by the Leydig cells, which are present over here, these, in between the two seminiferous tubules in the connective tissue. This testosterone, it means it is androgen. It is an androgen. I told you earlier there is one more androgen, that is DHT. And this testosterone, it has got some functions. What? Number one, functions of testosterone. Or androgens. Number one, spermatogenesis. Number two, I told you earlier that minimum quantity of testosterone is also secreted in the fetal life, which helps in the descending of the testis through the inguinal canal into the scrotum. And second is, it is responsible for the male sex organs and male secondary sex characters. We have already told you that male, what are secondary sex characters? Secondary means accessory sex characters. And third is physiological maturation of sperms in epididymis. Remember one thing, that inside the testis, till the vasa efferentia, there is no motility in the sperms of their own. Physiological maturation means motility, not complete motility. Sperms are totally motile only in the vagina of the female. And fourth is development of libido. Libido means sexual desire or sexual drive. Desire or drive. Again, testosterone or the male androgen is responsible for spermatogenesis, then development of male sex organs and male secondary sex characters. Number 3, physiological maturation of the sperms in the epididymis. And fourth is the development of libido, that is sexual desire or sexual drive. Now one more term, which is called castration. What is castration? We come to one more term, that is castration. Castration means removal of the testis, removal of testes. It can be done surgically also, or it can be done by some chemical methods also, that by chemicals the testes are inactivated. Or if they are removed surgically, then this is called orchidectomy, ectomy. Ectomy means to cut. Again, castration is done in many animals, and this orchidectomy is the surgical way to remove the testes from the body or from the scrotum. Thank you very much.